Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, I call to order the regular meeting of the Maricopa County Community College District Governing Board for September the 25th, 2018. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Jeffrey Teller, a student from Scottsdale Community College and a former specialist in the United States Army.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Presenting on behalf of Student Life at Scottsdale Community College is Emily Beaufort.
Members of the board, Dr. Harper Marinick, members of CEC, and guests, my name is Emily Beaufort, and I serve as chair of the Council of Student Leaders under the Center for Civic and Global Engagement at Scottsdale Community College. I've been involved in the Council of Student Leaders, in short, CSL, for 2 semesters now, and have had the wonderful opportunity to work with this inspiring group of leaders. Before this semester, I didn't believe in my own ability to lead, but through programs like Leadership, I realized I had the ability to enact change through my sphere of influence, and it gave me a chance to develop my own vision for the future, especially for the future of our generation. I hope to inspire the people of my age group to become more civically engaged, aware, and educated through this platform with SCC's Council of Student Leaders. We have an array of events planned that we hope will make that very thing happen. Just today, the Civic Engagement Committee and I hosted an event for National Voter Registration Day that hopefully made the idea of voting more accessible to undereducated college students through our handy flyers and voting information. In addition to our information, I'm particularly excited to share that we are one of the few higher education institutions hosting the Take Flight mural, Arizona's first augmented reality mural funded by the nonpartisan group Citizens Clean Elections Commission. We were specifically chosen to display the remarkable pair of wings to inspire young people to take voting into their own hands. With the help of Scott, the Scottsdale Coalition of Today and Tomorrow, we are also hosting a forum for the candidates running for Scottsdale City Council. We'll be able to ask these candidates about their response to issues that affect the next generation of students. We invite you all to attend, as it will be an exciting way to see the newest council contenders in action in the space of higher education. Through events like these and many more, I am continuing my predecessors' movements toward leading our community into a more civically engaged society. A few of these movements last semester really brought some challenging issues to light, such as our civil dialogue on racism, the winners and losers, which had a booming turnout and high praise from each of the 46 attendees. For many students, this was their first chance to civilly express their voice about issues that have affected them their entire lives. We are also continuing our use of the democracy wall to poll the SCC student body and give them yet another outlet to have their voices heard. While CSL promotes engagement in local issues through the Civic Engagement Committee, we also engage ourselves with the international perspective through the efforts of the Global Awareness Committee. It is important to create an environment that helps students appreciate global integration in order to navigate this globalized world successfully. Our Global Awareness Committee, overseen by our Vice Chair Justice Anger, is responsible for planning our traditional International Education Week that will take place the 3rd week of November, as well as collaborating on other SCC events, such as Genocide Awareness Week and the In Thing, a week that celebrates the inclusivity of our SCC campus. CSL has participated in a few volunteering events as part of our mission for community service. In the fall, our council worked with Liberty Wildlife. There we helped to build a natural shelter for a tortoise. In the spring, we visited Tranquility Trail Animal Sanctuary and cared for the elderly bunnies that stay there in the safe haven. Both of these animal-centric events were educational and provided a meaningful opportunity for us to help our community. This semester, we're planning to volunteer at St. Mary's Food Bank and prepare emergency food boxes. Volunteering our time and serving our community off campus has allowed us some of the most memorable and fulfilling experiences we've had as friends and student leaders. I am proud to announce that CSL is in the process of organizing our second annual Artichoke Pride Week, taking place from October 1st through 6th. Its planning will be overseen by our Special Events Manager, Chrisanne Tires. This week will hold various events that promote our Artichoke spirit, like the Artie Mile Walk, Student Success Fair, which showcases the wealth of resources SCC provides through its academic department, services, and clubs on campus, and of course, Artie Idol, a campus favorite that includes an open mic, various performances, judges, and fun prizes. Oh, and it's Artie's birthday, so we plan to surprise him with a gift and cake from our culinary arts department. Shh, don't tell him. Scottsdale Community College is home to 26 vastly different clubs that range from SEC Fitness and Nutrition Club to the SEC American Society of Interior Design. These clubs have allowed students to be engaged in events that cater to their specific field of study or personal passion, providing them opportunities to be exposed to an environment that will help them grow professionally. We couldn't be more proud of the activities that our clubs offer to our student body, like the annual Women Rising Conference, Male Empowerment Network's annual conference, the SCC Robotics Club's participation in the Southwest Vest Robotics World Competition, and many more events that enrich our educational experience. I cannot go on with this report without introducing you to this amazing group of student leaders that I am so fortunate to be a part of. We are a group of 14 very diverse individuals. Our group ranges from 19 to 51 this year, and we have students who represent various communities, including the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community, the Dominican Republic, and our U.S. Army. I am proud to serve my student body alongside these passionate leaders. Lastly, I would like to thank you all for allowing us the opportunity to share with you a little bit about SCC's Council of Student Leaders and our plans for this upcoming school year. Now, I would like to finish by extending the invitation to all of you to join us at any of our on- or off-campus events, like the Phoenix AIDS Walk in late October or the Parada del Sol Parade in February. Thank you. Before I take any questions from the board members, I'd like to invite my fellow student leaders to introduce themselves.
Hello everybody, my name is Justice Egner and I'm the Vice Chair for the Council of Student Leaders.
Hello everyone, my name is Jeff Teller and I'm a student at large.
School Coordinator Aniapchigit Jonathan Curry, Manaki Mar Amjid. Good evening, my name is Jonathan Curry. I'm from the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community. I currently serve as a student at large on the Council of Student Leaders at Scottsdale Community College.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brianna Stabler, and I serve as a student at large.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah Drennan, and I'm a student at large with the Council for Student Leaders at Scottsdale Community College.
Hello everybody, my name is Irving Alvarez and I'm part of the student at large at Scottsdale Community College.
Good evening, I'm Chris Antires and I serve as Special Events Manager.
Hello, my name is Cade Korn and I'm a student at large at SCC.
Good evening, I am Camilla O'Donnell and I am a Public Relations Co-Manager for the Council of Student Leaders at Scottsdale Community College.
Good morning. Good evening, everyone. I'm nervous. Sorry. Good evening, everyone. I'm Juan Bautista Nunez. I serve as the co-manager of public relations at Scottsdale Community College. Thanks.
Does anybody have any questions?
Well, I would like to say you did an absolutely superb job in your presentation, and you have a lot of speaking talent, I would say. So I hope you follow a career in which you have the opportunity to use that talent.
I have a question. Are you in the city of Scottsdale?
I actually do not live in the city of Scottsdale.
No, the campus.
Yes, yeah.
So the reservation is in the city of Scottsdale?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
Is it not?
No.
They're a sovereign nation of their own.
So what's the answer? Is the campus in the city of Scottsdale?
No.
Thank you.
Are there any more questions?
Very good.
No questions?
Thank you.
Thank you again. And now we have our Emeritus Awards and recognition. We have one Emeritus Distinction Award this evening. Dr. Peterson, would you like to introduce your honoree?
Good evening. I'd like to ask for permission to invite Dr. Bill Guerrero forward.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Peterson, Mrs. Livingston, members of the board, and Chancellor Harper-Marinick, members of CEC and guests. It is my honor this evening to present Carol Terrell for Faculty Emeritus status. Carol began her long association with Maricopa in 1966 as a high school student concurrently enrolled at Mesa Community College. She took additional courses at Mesa, and after completing high school, she eventually transferred to ASU, where she earned bachelor's and master's degrees. Carol's career at Chandler Gilbert Community College began over 30 years ago. She was initially hired as the college's first public relations and marketing coordinator. She also served as adjunct faculty and then accepted a full-time English faculty position in fall of 1989. Carol's many contributions to the college and district include co-founding and advising Chandler Gilbert's Phi Theta Kappa chapter, helping initiate the college's nationally recognized service learning program, serving on international intercultural education, professional growth, and developmental education committees. And in particular, Carol coordinated the college's diversity committee for many years, setting the foundation for what is now known as One World. She was recognized with an annual award by Maricopa's Diversity Advisory Council for her outstanding work in promoting an inclusive culture at Chandler Gilbert and its surrounding communities. During her tenure, Carol was a frequent participant and contributor to Maricopa Center for Learning and Instruction and its programming, and she was a regular contributor to the district's diversity newsletter, Expressions. As one of Chandler Gilbert's founding faculty members, Carol's influence is felt today in many of the college's hallmark programs. She was instrumental in formulating and supporting our active and collaborative learning efforts, learning communities, co-curricular events, and study abroad. And later in her career, Carol embraced distance learning and converted many of her courses for online delivery. Carol's dedication and perseverance will be greatly missed by all who know her, and we wish her the very best of health and happiness in retirement. Let me present to you, ladies and gentlemen, Carol Terrell. She'd like to make some comments.
Thank you, Drs. Peterson and Guerrero, Ms. Livingston, members of the governing board, Dr. Maria Harper-Marinick, members of the CEC, guests and fellow faculty. I am humbled and honored to be here. First, thank you to Dr. Greg Peterson, Dr. Bill Guerrero, and Dr. Maria Harper-Marinick for recommending me for this tremendous honor. I would like to thank three very special ladies tonight, Diane, Rosalind, and Vicki, who this year celebrate 50 years of friendship with me, for coming here tonight to share this honor with me. I also would like to thank my son, Odine Bamiro, aka Shino, a committed, dedicated Chandler Gilbert student set to graduate with his associate's degree in May, for sharing this momentous occasion. As a child, he was very understanding of my constant, never-ending paper grading. When he would, of course, have loved my being free to spend more time with him. I have to say, though, over the course of my first 2.5 years, there were an occasional, "You're always grading papers." I could not agree more. At the beginning of my career at Chandler Gilbert, the English department required students to write 10 essays, one for each mode. So times 125, that was indeed a continuous mountain of paper. First reviewing rough drafts, then grading finals. But that was the nature of the beast. When the District Instructional Council established the curriculum to be 4 essays, I thought I died and gone to heaven. I came late to the family business, teaching. I spent much of my early work life as a journalist, first for a national news magazine, Jet Magazine, and in the private sector as a video writer-producer, winning a regional Emmy in 1985. Michael J. Fox was the presenter.
Wow.
My mother, Carol Way Terrell, was a K-12 teacher for more than 20 years before joining Phoenix College reading faculty in 1967. My father, Joe L. Terrell Sr., had his first retirement after 30-plus years in various departments of the federal government, and then became business faculty and vice principal at Chandler High School before joining Glendale Community as business faculty in 1976, retiring this time for good with my mom in 1987. My parents' siblings were also in the family business as teachers, principals, and my mother's brother, Dr. Frank E. Wade, Director of Special Education, Gary, Indiana Board of Education, while my dad's sister, Inez Stafford, had an elementary school named for her in San Antonio, Texas, where my father was born and raised. Now a young niece, Danielle Terrell Garcia, and a young nephew, Jordan Lee Wilson, are taking up the mantle and carrying forward a long family legacy of teaching. Sorry. In 1986, when budget cuts closed the hospital system department, video department, where I was a writer-producer, I needed to re-career. I saw the joy my parents experienced as community college professors and how rewarding they found working with their students to be. I knew that this was the new direction that I should pursue. My new journey began at Arizona State University, where I did postgraduate studies, completing 36 graduate hours in English, literature, rhetoric, and composition. In January 1987, on a Friday, I got a call from the English division chair, Chandler Gilbert, asking if I was interested in teaching 3 classes as adjunct. I gave her a very emphatic and enthusiastic yes, and that following Monday, the adventure began. That fall, I became the interim public relations coordinator with my first duty, organizing the dedication ceremony for the Pecos campus, and I continued as English adjunct. I was blessed to become residential faculty in the fall of 1989. This has been a truly rewarding 30-plus years, paper grading notwithstanding. Working with students to help them grasp the art of writing has been a singular joy. Seeing the light bulbs go on for students who had shared that they had always struggled with English was for me a thing of beauty. Many of my students told me that they hated English and always had. And when I was able to help them come to embrace it and even love writing, for the first time, it was a validation of my having made the right decision to enter the classroom. The cards, emails, and letters these students wrote to me over the years to say that they had never thought it possible to succeed in English and even come to love it until attending my class was truly one of the greatest feelings that I have ever experienced. I still have them and would always treasure these missives from my students. Early on, having taken Spanish in high school, I recognized that the issues many of my ESL students were experiencing were not skill-based, but language-based, were difficulties of working through the complexities of their second language. I knew that I could better serve them if I had a better grasp of Spanish. So I took 20 credits, 6 courses of Spanish at Chandler Gilbert. And with what I learned from 2 amazing professoras, faculty Emeritus Dr. Ana Jarvis and current Spanish faculty Cynthia Bingham, I was able to guide my second language students to go from being good writers to exceptional ones. It is these moments that have made my 30 years at Chandler Gilbert a joy, and I want to thank all my outstanding colleagues for the parts they played in a career that has been beyond fulfilling. Dr. William Guerrero for his support while interim president when it was medically necessary for me to transition to teaching online. The amazing, patient, and super supportive CTLA for making that online transition possible for a technologically challenged teacher. Particularly Julianne Royable, Leslie Kreiderman, and Mike Curtis. They will forever be my heroes. Lois Bartholomew, who is VP of Student Affairs, was not just an advocate for students, but a support for faculty as well. My mentor, Mary Beth Mason, who helped make my move from professional writer to writing teacher a more seamless one. When it was determined at the end of the fall semester of 2015 that I had to teach online, and that was to begin the spring of 2016, I had not been trained on campus, so there was no time for me to create my own courses, and my faculty came to my aid. Dr. Terry Mosier gave up a class, one of her online classes, so that I could take it. Adjunct Casey Academy and English faculty Diane Chardon gave me courses that I could take and adapt as my own rather than start from scratch. Miguel Fernandez and Chris Ryder gave me components of courses that I could use. Mary Beth Burgoyne, library faculty, who was my partner in one of those classes, taught me a great deal about teaching online. And adjunct library faculty Pam Gassler, Allison Shepard, and Mary Harris were also very helpful. Lastly, I would like to thank the amazing division chairs that I got to work with. Pam Davenport, Dr. Bill Mullaney, Dean Chris Schnick, Chris Ryder, and Dr. Mary Zimmerer. All truly amazing and supportive. When my journey began with Maricopa Community College District in 1967 as a concurrently enrolled student at Mesa Community, the fall semester of my senior year, I had no idea it would lead me on a continuous journey with the district that would span more than half a century. Over the decades, as a lifelong learner, I took classes for enjoyment at Phoenix College, Scottsdale Community, Glendale Community, and Chandler Gilbert. This journey, this adventure, came to an end this past March with my retirement, and it was the adventure of a lifetime. Thank you.
Ms. Terrell, we all really enjoyed hearing about your incredible life and your many contributions. And I'd like to make a suggestion. Now that you have more time, maybe you could write a book about all that you've learned. Think about it.
You would be amazed at how many family members want me to write books, but mostly about them.
Ms. Haver?
Yes.
If I may, I would like to point out that our board president is not here this evening. Our meeting is being chaired by our board secretary, Ms. Johanna Haver.
Now back to the meeting. We're at the point of the citizens' interim. Oh, excuse me. We're at the point of having the Chancellor's report. Chancellor Harper-Marinick, do you have anything to report?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Mrs. Haver, members of the board. Before we get to the presentation, I would like to acknowledge Ed Kelty, Vice Chancellor for Technology. This is his last meeting with us, and Ed is moving to the East Coast to be closer to his family and enjoy a whole new professional adventure. So Ed, thank you for the many years of service to Maricopa. We'll miss you. And our presentation tonight is an update on the marketing plan for the district and some of the strategies. So I would like to ask Matt Freed, oh, there he is, who is the interim chief marketing officer, to please go to the podium and lead us in that presentation. Thank you, Matt.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Members of the board, Dr. Harper-Marinick, members of the CEC, and guests. Again, my name is Matt Freed, and I am the interim chief marketing officer at the district office. And I want to thank Dr. Harper-Marinick for giving us this opportunity to present on the marketing plan for the district and the colleges coming up in the spring and fall of 2019. We're extremely excited. We'll use this. So I get asked a lot, why invest in marketing now? There's a lot of things happening at the district and a lot of challenges and opportunities happening at the colleges as well. We need to tell our story. There are many other institutions and colleges that are telling their story, and we need to be top of mind. We need to be telling it alongside of them as well. In this story that we're telling, we didn't do it in a silo. The district marketing team went out to all the colleges, met with each college president, their executive leadership team, and asked what their goals were. What do you want to do for the colleges? They told us, our team goes back, we develop strategies for marketing, and we present those strategies and then we implement. We also need to be reputation building. We're not getting the reputation we deserve because we're not telling our story in an efficient and meaningful way. And we're a large institution, and we should be doing that. We are the best value of higher education in the Valley. We can also help with the student experience, and that sounds weird that marketing could help with the student experience. Load balancing. We've been giving a small amount of money for a long time, right? The colleges and the district to do all of our marketing. What happens is we all wait. We're like, we're gonna wait till it's peak. We're gonna wait till everyone's ready to enroll. So we invest all of this money in that time, and what we do is we reinforce the issues of driving all of these students at one time, January and August, to enroll, which puts some strain on our human resources and also our technological resources. Our in-market competition budgets. So we know that Grand Canyon University is spending about $100 million a year in advertising. That's about 12% of their revenue. Arizona State spends about $33 million just in brand awareness. That is from their hub at the beginning, at their central agency there, and all the schools, all the colleges, have their own enrollment marketing that they use. So on top of that $33 million. That's us at $3 million. And right, so it looks a little ridiculous, but I tell you what, we can do a lot with $3 million, and we're going to prove it to you. We can tell our story with that. So what's this campaign focus? Brand awareness, sharing millions of impressions throughout our valley. Application volume, that's driving potential students to fill out applications to enroll. And then this inquiry database. And really this is getting leads into a CRM so we can have this huge database of leads that we can nurture over time. And we already have a large database that people would kill for. So we're in a really good spot. What are our campaign objectives? We want to have about 176 million impressions. And what that means is someone seeing our brand, whether it's a Maricopa Community College brand, whether it's a Mesa Community College, whether it's Rio, 176 million impressions. And then from that, we want 48,000 inquiries, leads. And that's, and we get those impressions by buying them. And then enrollments, we expect a 10% conversion rate out of that 48,000 inquiries. So 4,800 enrollments. And this is a $2.9 million, about a $3 million investment in this campaign. And if those 4,800 students enrolled in the average 7.9 credit hours, which is about $671, we multiply that 4,800, we get about $3.2 million in return. We're not here to make money, but we do need to show that it's a good investment. So we are earning our money back in order to recruit these students. What are the segments? University transfer, occupational and workforce, Latino Hispanic, also multicultural, igniting a college ambition. This is for these students who don't even think that college is an opportunity for them. We can target them and we can send the right messages to them at the right time. And then general brand awareness. Why does it make sense to go to a community college over another institution. Demographics. So how do we target these folks? Well, first of all, we use our internal data, which we have, and what we do is we use this data to create lookalike audiences. We can take those lookalike audiences and put them into Facebook, we can put them into demand-side platforms to target who we know are already coming to our institutions. Then we also can use these other technologies that we're saying that we should use, Basis and Datatonics, Salado, for targeting even more specific audiences. With Basis Centro demand-side platform, someone can go to USA Today's website, and it could be me looking at an ad, and it would serve me a different ad than it would one of the Scottsdale students that was just here presenting. It would be completely different based on their behaviors that we follow. Salado is also offline attribution. This is really state-of-the-art technology that Starbucks uses, McDonald's uses, that actually we serve them an ad, we geofence your colleges, and then we see how much our digital advertising is driving foot traffic to your colleges. And this is the marketing funnel we use. So really that top of the funnel is about awareness. So the audiences there are the creating a college ambition, they're not even considering college yet, community at large, and how we do that is by display advertising, out-of-home billboards, and traditional radio. Because it's broad-reaching, and it covers the valley. And then we get down to consideration, those students that are thinking about, I just want to go back to college, so they're searching for terms like accounting degree, but they're not necessarily searching for your colleges yet. That's when you get down to the conversion. They're actually searching for Chandler Gilbert Community College accounting. So what we do is we build up the campaign so when they search for those things, we're at the top of the Google page. We have some of the best analytics and tracking through this campaign. And I say we because it's not just me. There's a wonderful team that does all of this work. And we have some of the best technology out there, and I wanted to show that to you for our analytics and tracking and dashboards. We were fortunate enough to have Chandler Gilbert invest in, first with Chris Haynes, Dr. Peterson, in I wouldn't say a pilot, but they definitely invested some of their own money in this campaign, so we have a pilot of sorts. And you can see this is our marketing dashboard, and you can see right here that they spent about $105,000. This is about an 11-week period. They got 12 million impressions, and 38,000 people clicked into their landing page or their web page based on our advertising, just our digital advertising. And that's a click-through rate of 0.31. Which that sounds really small, but it's actually over double industry standard, which gives us a cost per click of about $2.76. And you see these next numbers are really important. The imply, enroll. So what we do is we drive all of our advertising to landing pages. And these students have many options to become an inquiry or a lead. They can text, and that text goes away if there's not someone to answer it, not someone available to answer it. They can call, or they can fill out this lead form. Or they can be really smart, get to this landing page and decide, this is a marketing landing page, and I'm not going to fill this form out. But if they do that and go to Chandler Gilbert's homepage, we actually track if they landed on the landing page and they click the Apply Now button. That's a conversion. We assume they're going to go and apply. So when you go back to the dashboard, we track all of that. So that 737 apply, enroll, request, that's going to their homepage, clicking on those buttons to apply. The form fill is actually being on the landing page. 433 people decided to fill out that form for someone to contact them. 1,400 people called, and we actually record those calls. That gives us a cost per acquisition of $40 per lead, which is extremely good. I know Grand Canyon expects $1,000 per lead. We don't have an army like they do to call on them, so we have to be smarter, and we have to use our technology better. It's really hard to move that around. So we have the dashboards, we have the calls, we're tracking the walk-ins. And these are our industry standard metrics that everyone uses that we can benchmark against. Inquiries, applicants, and enrollments, and we're doing that with our dashboard. And we're also working with student affairs. Chandler Gilbert has opted to use the district call center to drive all of our leads that we're creating to the district call center to convert. And they're converting at a very good rate based on benchmarks. And then other key performance indicators, KPIs, will happen based on channel. And then the conversion strategy. We just want to give students, potential students, as many ways as possible to convert. So if they want to call us, if they want to text us, if they want to fill out that form, if they want to go to our website, we have that for them. And I get asked a lot. We did some focus groups with students. We also did some online surveys. What is it? It can be almost anything. It could be nursing, it could be business, it could be careers, it could be nuclear power, it could be energy, it could be making dreams come true. So it's very versatile. So we have this overarching campaign that's Make It Happen at Maricopa. We use real students, real alumni, real faculty. It can be location-based. I'm making it happen at Chandler Gilbert Williams campus. It could be faculty-based, preparing tomorrow's scientists. I'm making it happen at Scottsdale Community College. It could be alumni-based. I made it happen at Rio Salado College. So it's very versatile, and we're really excited about it. And the creative that we used, we made sure it's real students. We're going out and doing video shoots and photo shoots to each college. It's real subject areas about that college that the college presidents and leaderships have defined. And it's Spanish and multicultural, and it feels real. This is one of our billboards that we have out on the I-17, Make It Happen in South Mountain. We're already starting because some of these colleges are investing their own money because they're seeing the success. And I wanted to show you a little bit of what the video looks like from Chandler Gilbert.
Since I could remember, it's always been my dream to be a teacher.
An aircraft mechanic.
A doctor.
An actor.
An entrepreneur.
An accountant.
A college grad.
I found a place where I belong.
Where I can make my dreams a reality.
I can find all the classes I need at Williams
and Pecos campuses. So I can work and go to school.
And now I'm making business happen. I'm making pre-med happen.
I'm making performing arts happen.
I'm making aviation happen.
I'm making my dream happen at Chandler Gilbert Community College.
And then at the end of this video, there's a call to action that goes to our landing page. And again, they can leave the landing page, go to Chandler Gilbert's website, click on those Apply Now buttons or explore if they'd like. That is basically the campaign at a very, very high level. There's a lot of details, but if there's any questions.
Dr. Thor?
Matt, I want to congratulate you on your team on a really outstanding plan. This is very, very exciting and exactly what the board has been asking for. So we'll be really looking forward to you coming back next year and telling us about the results.
I would love to do that.
Mr. Starr.
Okay, I'll do this way. I want to thank you as well and your team. I had a presentation even more detailed than this, and this is my 8th year on the board. This is the first time I've really seen a comprehensive marketing plan that competes with our competition. Now, obviously, we got a really small button out there, but we're good at what we do, especially with your team. I'm impressed with the makeup of your team and their backgrounds. You're not coming out of our marketing program or our janitorial staff or whatever. You've been in the business for a long time, and it really shows in this presentation. And I look, again, as Dr. Thor said, look forward to ongoing updates on this and also additional investments. We've got a couple items on the agenda tonight that get us started. Obviously, some of the colleges have already taken that effort, but I think 3 million is a long way from 100 million that Grand Canyon has. But I think we just need to be better, as we are. our students do better at their institutions than those kids that start there. So we'll brag on that all day long. And we hope to do more of that with your efforts in the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is just amazing. I don't know where to begin. I'm very excited and really appreciate your efforts.
Thank you.
Any other
Thank you, board members. Matt, would you like to introduce your team,
I
please?
would love to. We have Carol Diego. She is our creative director. Mary Beth All, our operations director. And Dave Tarner, our digital marketing director. Digital Dave.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, board members.
Now we move to the citizens interim. This is an opportunity for members of the public to address the governing board about items that are on the agenda today. In compliance with the open meeting law, the governing board will neither discuss nor take action on issues raised during this portion of the agenda. Each speaker is asked to limit their comments to 3 minutes. Now, I haven't received the names of anyone who'd like to speak. Is there anybody here who would like to come forward? Thank you. We now move to the consideration of consent agenda items. All items with an asterisk are consent matters unless they are removed from the consent agenda at this time. Do any board members or the Chancellor wish to remove any items from the consent agenda? Mr. Saar.
I've got a few, 8.1 and 8.7 and 8.8.
Thank you, Mr. Saar. So we'll go on to the consent agenda as amended. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended if there is considering that we have some items removed?
I move for approval of the remaining consent agenda items.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So let's move on to item number 8.1, and that would be curriculum. The responsible agent, Dr. Carla Fisher. Mr. Saar, would you like to speak on this item?
To make it official, I'll make a motion that we approve this curriculum as presented, and then I'll discuss it after we second and have discussion.
Second.
Okay, now I'll do it. My complaint has always been we take way too long to approve curriculum. In this case, that's coming from Estrella Mountain. It was a program that was put together several years ago based on a grant. At that time, this particular curriculum was put in place. The grant has expired, and the school or the college has decided to keep it as a ongoing curriculum, which is awesome because it is a very important curriculum involved in the energy program. But I just understand that industry is asking for something better than what we do. First of all, to have 7 of us up here approve curriculum is ludicrous. We are great people, but we know nothing about what most of you know. So whatever we can do to speed up this process, I think, is something that administration needs to take under consideration and meet the needs of industry in a much faster way. I get there are other issues when it comes to academics and transfers to ASU. They kind of call the shots there. But when it comes to our CTE programs that are specifically designed to meet the needs of business and industry, we just need to make sure that we accomplish what we need to accomplish in the shortest amount of time.
Thank you. So do you have a motion, or you said you? Oh, okay. And so we go to the, okay, and now I will call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed, say nay. Okay, then we move on to item 8.7, media advertising contract. Responsible agent, Dr. Carla Fisher.
Chair.
Okay, Mr. Saar?
Yeah, the reason I pulled this off is to emphasize the fact that this is a great start of a long process in marketing our efforts and our institution. So I'll make a motion to get started by a motion to approve both items 8.7 and 8.8, and then I'll make another comment after we get a second.
Second.
Okay, there has been a motion made, and the motion is to approve
Right.
item number 8.7 and 8.8. Is there a second? There is a second, you're right. All in favor say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Say nay. All right, I think we have covered the three items that you wanted to discuss, Mr. Saar. Does anybody have anything else to add?
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes?
The two items that we had, I just want to make sure everybody knows what they are. One is several $1,000s to put our name, as you saw up here, on the billboards around the valley, as they've been successful in many other institutions like ours. I appreciate the fact that they've joined in that effort. More importantly is an effort in the digital world. We've all Googled everything in the world. We can say that Google owns the world. They deny it, but I think pretty much we all agree that most of it they do own, even driverless vehicles. So I just really appreciate the fact that this group has put together a system of working in the digital world, because that's the world that our students live in. I'm now a student, and I've had my phone, we're used in a whole different way in the last few weeks since I've had to learn what I'm responsible for in homework. I learn what I'm responsible for in grades, all through my little phone. That, you know, I came from the days when you cranked and had an 8-party line. So I just think it's worth saying again that this is a great start to a marketing program that will not only bring our enrollment up, but more importantly, get to those individuals in our county that don't know we exist, and that we can bring them economically into a different world and a different lifestyle than they're currently accustomed to. So I'm really excited about what we're doing here tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Saar. We now move to information items. Are there any questions? Regarding the monitoring reports, are there any questions? And now, faculty reports. Mr. Champel, do you have anything to report?
I do, thank you.
Oh dear, what happened?
Tell me it's a motorcycle. Go ahead.
Good evening, Board Secretary Haver, members of the Governing Board, Chancellor, CEC, fellow faculty, staff, administrators, and guests. My name is John Champel. I'm in my 13th year as a residential faculty member at Phoenix College, where I teach students in biology. I'm also the currently elected president of the Faculty Executive Council, and I'm delighted to continue to have the opportunity to speak to you this evening. Tonight I will try to be brief, as I have only 2 items to cover. First, since the last governing board meeting, payroll problems for faculty, both full-time and adjunct, and staff across the district have attracted warranted media coverage. I would like to thank Elliot Hibbs in his acting role fulfilling the responsibilities of Vice Chancellor of Human Resources for his communication in response to those media inquiries, including his revealing estimates of the large magnitude and extent of the continuing payroll problems across all 10 colleges in the district. We also appreciate his stated dedication to getting the matter resolved, even if the estimated timeline he offered may extend all the way to December of 2019. Nonetheless, this level of candor, revealing the deep problems with both the student information system, which all students use to enroll in our classes, and the human capital management system used for all pay and benefits, is most welcome. We certainly appreciate the breath of fresh air and increased transparency from District Human Resources under his leadership. Thank you. Second, I would like to inform the board, administration, and the public that on behalf of the faculty across all 10 Maricopa colleges and its students we instruct daily, the Faculty Association has filed a complaint with the Higher Learning Commission. For those who are not aware, the Higher Learning Commission is the accrediting body for all 10 of our colleges, and its accreditation allows our enrolled students to receive federal financial aid and to transfer their earned course credits to other accredited colleges. We filed this complaint with the Commission in order to bring to its attention many of the problematic behaviors this board has exhibited. We do not take this step lightly or without due consideration. As the complaint documents, this board has repeatedly demonstrated disregard for higher education, its mission, its principles, and the value it provides to the community our colleges serve. We look forward to the Commission's examination of the areas of concern stated in the complaint and to the collaborative, expeditious remedies that will address them. That concludes my remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Champel. Gail Haas, are you here this evening? Would you like to speak? Thank you.
Good evening, Board Secretary Haber, members of the board, Dr. Harper Marinick, President, members of the CEC, and guests. I'm Patricia Gail Haas, the President of the Adjunct Faculty Association. We have completed our open enrollment for insurance purposes, and there were great offerings. This program was quite unique in the nation because we're a big organization, but we're a nonprofit organization. And as the laws change, the opportunities change. So we're currently evaluating what we did to make a plan to go forward. Our online orientation, which was created last year by the Adjunct Faculty Development Committee, which is a division of the faculty developers from each campus, and in cooperation with the Maricopa Center for Learning and Instruction, launched a pilot of an orientation program this past semester. Sarah McCarthy, who works with training, was essential in getting this out. And she reports that almost 300 new adjuncts, of 300 new adjuncts, 55% either completed or participated in the offering. This is in addition to a very successful in-person orientation held at each campus. So that really shows to me there was quite an interest, and we have some assessment to see how it helped and moving us forward. I'm happy to announce that we're launching a support team for adjuncts at the district office. Dr. Fisher and Dr. DeSumo have seen the needs and encouraged us to set up systems to meet some critical information needs. Several people have been charged with helping this team, including the two new directors of the Maricopa Center for Learning and Instruction, Dr. Stephen Crawford and Dr. Tricia Gillian. The purpose is to listen, research, inform, and respond to the adjunct issues which are district related. As everyone has observed, there have been some rapid changes recently, and our goal is to support college departments with a district place, a team, and a website for adjuncts to get relevant information. So this means that this is my last report as the AFA president. I'm very grateful to the governing board, to the chancellor and provost, to the college presidents, both past and present, to the residential faculty and all of the staff I worked with for the great support you have given us. This is not a trite phrase. You all decided to recognize and celebrate the value of adjuncts in Maricopa. You have provided open windows and doors and provided ways for us to walk through them. I look forward to working with all of you and the new AFA leadership to provide opportunities that help move Maricopa forward through transformation, through the best teaching we can provide, in addition to career tracks and opportunities, all leading to student success. So again, thank you very much, and I will miss our little talks.
Ms. Haas, we will all miss you very much. You've done a splendid job. You represent the adjunct instructors extremely well. And so I think we should all give Ms. Haas a hand. And now we are to that important part of the meeting, the governing board reports. Mr. Bartning, do you have anything to report?
Just two quick thank yous. One to President Leyba Ruiz for the wonderful tour of Glendale Community College. It was well worth the wait. I know we were trying for many months to do that. And thanks for showing me the best programs you had to offer. It's very impressive, some of the things taking place there, especially the cybersecurity and the automotive. And also thank you to President Olson, who actually had several of the governing board members up here to show us some of the plans for the North Campus NCC. I don't know. Dana Sarr was advocating for the Sarr building, but I don't think that's going to happen. But thank you for showing us your plans, and we're really excited about what's happening at South Mountain, and also the engineering lab that you showed us that's in its first year was quite impressive. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bartney. Mrs. McGrath.
At the last meeting, I neglected to report that Scottsdale Community College did an absolutely wonderful send-off for Dr. Geller. It was absolutely amazing, and we miss her, and I'm looking forward to the new leadership under Dr. Haynes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. McGrath. Dr. Thor?
Thank you, Mrs. Haber. There's two events that I would like to comment about. The first was on September the 14th, which was the first day of for the monthly meetings for the 18-19 year Women's Mentor Program. And the Chancellor and I were both very honored to speak at the luncheon where the program was appropriately renamed the Linda B. Rosenthal Women's Mentor Program. As you know, Mrs. Rosenthal served on this board for nearly 30 years, and she was a champion of the professional development of all of our employees, but was a particular advocate for the women employees. And it's appropriate that this program be named for her because she is considered the mother of not only the Women's Leadership Group, but the Women's Mentor Program. And I also want to comment on just a remarkable event and a remarkable program that took place at Mesa Community College on September the 14th. It was the Immersive Total Patient Management Experience Gala. And I'll attempt to describe what happened, but this is a very exciting initiative from the faculty in multiple departments at Mesa Community College. It's an interdisciplinary program that allows students from fire science, theater and film arts, psychological sciences, nursing, and the Mesa Police Department to work together to provide real-life experiences for students from all of those programs. So, for example, they create an accident scene, and members of the theater department are doing the makeup and so on of the people who are participating. The film students are filming it. The EMT and paramedic students are arriving there first. They're dealing with people with their cell phones out, taking pictures. Eventually, the patient is loaded into the ambulance and taken to the hospital where they're encountering nurses and the emergency room doctor. The psychology students are dealing with hysterical relatives. It was just unbelievable. And it was done by the faculty at Mesa Community College above and beyond their load. So I want to compliment the college, the faculty, all of these departments, and to really encourage the expansion of innovative, interdisciplinary efforts like these. So, and then finally, I also want to thank Ed Kelty for his more than 30 years of service to the Maricopa Community Colleges. Ed Kelty and I have a very long history together. When I became president of Rio Salado College in 1990, the technology department consisted of Ed Kelty and one part-time employee. And over the years, under Ed's leadership and his vision and his strategic action, Rio Salado, of course, became a technology powerhouse among community colleges. We're all very excited about your future life and look forward to watching your career continue to evolve and your family to continue to thrive. But we will miss you very much. Thank you, Ed.
Mr. Saar, do you have something to say? I'll get to it.
I would like to say a lot of things, but I need to go home and do homework.
Oh, okay. Mr. Saar has become a student at Mesa Community College. Mrs. Livingston.
Just real quick, I'd like to thank Mr. Hibbs. Thank you, first of all, for coming out of retirement and into our life here at Maricopa, and thank you for tackling this relatively large, this very large issue that we have. And I do appreciate the transparency, and even though it might take a while, it's understood. And thank you so much for doing it with due diligence. Thank you for those of you that have reached out to me, and I have special news. I am now a grandmother of 2 months, so that's what I'm celebrating today. His name's Dexter James Livingston. He's 2 months old. So, ta-da!
Congratulations, Mrs. Livingston. I would like to mention a couple events that I attended. Mr. Bartning and I were both guests of President Olson to see South Mountain Community College and all the changes that they're making, because now they've taken over the school that was originally meant to be a charter school, and now it's going to be part of South Mountain. This is particularly meaningful for me because I remember back a long time ago, before many of you were born, in 1972, when I came to this valley, I substituted everywhere, including South Mountain. And what I saw there was really, really sad. There were kids in the first and second grade who were in classes of 40 and on split day schedules. And I did write to the newspaper. It was published. Maybe it helped a little bit. It was a terrible situation. And by the time they got to junior high, they were just sort of shuffled from room to room. I learned how there was disparity in education, and I pretty much dedicated myself to doing something about it. And so this is a step in that direction. Of course, things have improved in South Mountain, but not as much as they should have by this time. But I know how dedicated President Olson is and her staff, and how excited they are with their plans, and it will be a wonderful addition for that entire community. And so I'm looking very forward to see what happens down the road. I'd like to mention also that I attended the Rio Salado Math Symposium, and that was quite an event in that math has been an area that we've struggled with, trying to make sure kids learned the math they needed in order to take the regular classes. And a lot of that is because there is such a shortage of good math teachers in K through 12. Well, this symposium is reaching out to all of our colleges. All the students may attend, and it's a very cheerful environment. And it's a place where even I became interested and thought, oh, I could go there and enjoy learning math, which was never my best subject. And so anyway, I'm very grateful to Rio Salado for offering this service, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that develops. One last thing. My daughter and family moved, and so as a result, my two grandsons, one going into 8th grade, one in 6th grade, will not be in the public school system, instead in a private school. And I was really impressed with something that I saw at that website. And the statement was, all of our teachers are excellent. And I thought, that's the way it ought to be. All teachers excellent. And I think all of us who've been through our school system, have children who've gone through the system, have had to go through that situation of trying to avoid our kids going to one teacher and hoping that they go to another. And that's unfortunate. And I believe it is possible for all teachers to be excellent. And my hope is that with this new process that we're developing in place of meet and confer, we'll have with it an accountability system. And so we can say at every one of our colleges that all of our teachers are excellent. And so the next meeting date will be October the 16th, 2018 at 6:30 p.m. It'll be a regular board meeting in the governing board room. And so at this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
Do I have a second? Thank you very much. And thank you, everybody, for coming and bearing with me. I'm a little bit new at running meetings.